Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of Eat, Play, Breathe York and the Tobacco Free Task Force, I want to welcome all of you to our Great American Smokeout event. I also want to recognize our elected officials here, Mayor Bracey, Representative Kevin Schreiber, Commissioners Hoke and Riley, and Councilman Nixon and Helfrich. I don't know if there's anyone I missed or not. So today we're celebrating the Great American Smokeout. The American Cancer Society marks the 39th year of the Great American Smokeout by encouraging smokers to quit or to plan a quit day. By quitting, even for one day, smokers will be taking an important step towards a healthier life. Tobacco remains the single largest preventable cause of disease and premature death in the United States. Yet about 42 million Americans still smoke cigarettes, and that's about 1 in every 5 adults. Smoking imposes an immense burden on society, with over 480,000 premature deaths, over $156 billion in lost productivity costs, and at least $133 billion in direct medical care expenditures in the United States every year. Quitting smoking is beneficial not only to you, but to those around you. Whether you're young or old, and in good health or bad, secondhand smoke is dangerous and can make you sick and cause serious illness, including cancer, respiratory, and cardiovascular diseases. It also has adverse effects on the health of infants and children. Children who live with smokers get more chest colds and ear infections, while babies born to mothers who smoke have an increased risk of premature delivery, low birth weight, and sudden infant death syndrome. So, today we welcome some special guests here today to join us to encourage smokers to quit smoking for just one day. So Representative Kevin Schreiber is here to get us started, and we'll get into the proclamations. I'll just leave this here if that's okay.
Sure. Thanks, Barb. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Most importantly, Lincoln Charter ambassadors, thank you guys for coming out. It's good to see everyone. As Barb Kovacs mentioned, today we're celebrating and commemorating the Great American Smokeout. Today, smokers and non-smokers alike, all across this country, will take part in the American Cancer Society's Great American Smokeout. The idea for the Smokeout grew from a 1970 event in Randolph, Massachusetts, at which Arthur Mullaney asked people to give up cigarettes for one day and contribute the money that they would spend for those cigarettes to a high school scholarship. You got that, Lincoln Lions? So we give up smoking for one day and contribute that money to a high school scholarship to make sure students can go on to high school and also on to college. Today's event challenges people to not just quit smoking today, but also quit smoking throughout the rest of their life, and to help other individuals that may be smoking and trying to quit as well. It's also to raise awareness for the many tools that are available to help quit smoking for good. And as Barb mentioned, some of the facts that worldwide tobacco use causes more than 5 million deaths per year, and current trends show that tobacco use will cause more than 8 million deaths annually by 2030. You got that, students? So 8 million deaths. So we need to lower that number. We need to curb that number. We need to stop people from smoking. Cigarette smoking is responsible for more than 480,000 deaths per year in the United States. This is 1 in 5 deaths annually, or 1,300 deaths per day. On average, smokers die 10 years earlier than non-smokers, and as of 2011, 42.1 million people smoke in the United States alone. That is 18% of this population. So it's not easy to quit tobacco. Research shows that smokers who have support are more likely to quit for good than those that do not. So today, in addition to challenging people to give up smoking for one day, we're also supporting all of the methods that are available, including telephone smoking cessation hotlines, stop smoking groups, online quit groups, counseling, nicotine replacement products, prescription medicine to lessen the cravings, guidebooks, and encouragement, which is most important, encouragement from family and friends. So that is why we have some of our students here today too, because we're not only trying to impart this wisdom to you, but you guys are in charge of taking charge in some of your families and helping some family members to quit smoking. And I know Barb Kovacs in our health department and our friends at WellSpan have some quit smoking kits that are here available today. We can certainly get more if they are needed. In many towns and communities all across America, local governments and community members, volunteer organizations, and our private community are coming together to publicize the negative effects of tobacco and to promote the need for smokers to quit smoking. As a state representative, it obviously brings me joy to bring everyone together today to promote this worthy cause, but also really to appreciate the good work by the York City Health Bureau, by our community organization, Eat, Play, Breathe York, and the Tobacco Free Task Force, and all of our elected officials today. And again, most importantly, our students that are here with us today. So with that, I would like to invite all of our elected officials. As Barb had mentioned, we have our 2 York County Commissioners, Chris Riley and Doug Hoke. We have our Mayor, Kim Bracey, and our 2 City Council members, Henry Nixon and Michael Helfrich, here today to offer a proclamation for the Great American Smokeout. So, elected officials, please join us up here. And how about we ask our Lincoln ambassadors to come up too?
Everybody over here.
Come on up, students.
They stand in front.
And,
Okay.
and Mayor Bracey will read the proclamation. Come on up, guys. Here, you guys can
Great.
come on in over here.
Balance out here,
Yep.
that's right. All
Yep.
you guys.
It's all right, they're just county commissioners.
All right, as Representative Schreiber said, we have a joint proclamation. I don't know that we've had one with all of these signatures before, Commissioner, but it's great. Thank you to our city staff, too, you guys, all the work that you do, and all of our partners that are here with us today, and our ambassadors.
Let's get a Lincoln roll.
They look so, okay, Roy, no, it doesn't go that quiet, but they look so great in their jackets and so professional. And I hope you heard the message that Representative Schreiber spoke about in terms of smoking. And I hope your parents and your grandparents did as well. I remember when I was your age, I would break my granddad's cigarettes. I didn't. That was the way I was trying to make him stop. Don't go home and do that though right now. They really cost a lot of money. That in itself should be a deterrent for most people. But at the time, my granddad just shook his head and bought another box of Pall Mall. Anyway, the proclamation, Great American Smokeout, November the 20th, 2014, whereas every city on the third Thursday of November, concerned citizens across the nation take part in the American Cancer Society Great American Smokeout. And whereas the Great American Smokeout challenges people to stop using tobacco and help people know about the many tools they can use to quit and remain smoke-free. And whereas each year the Great American Smokeout draws attention to the deaths and chronic diseases caused by smoking. And whereas local volunteers use this day to publicize the need to quit and press for laws that control tobacco use and discourage teens from starting and support people who want to quit. And whereas because of efforts of individuals and groups that have led anti-tobacco efforts, there have been significant landmarks in the areas of research, policy, and the environment. And whereas the American Cancer Society Great American Smokeout is celebrated in schools, workplaces, main streets, and legislative halls throughout the U.S., and whereas the York City Bureau of Health and Eat, Play, Breathe York are participating in the Great American Smokeout on November the 20th, 2014, and whereas the effort of these concerned citizens can help lead to a healthier community and commonwealth for all citizens to enjoy. Now, therefore, we, the York City Mayor, York County Commissioners, and our state representative, honors the York City Bureau of Health, Eat, Play, Breathe York, and the Tobacco Free Task Force for their important contributions to the Great American Smokeout and the health of our community, Commonwealth, and nation. Given this day in York and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on the 20th day of November in the year of our Lord 2014, it is signed by myself, Representative Schreiber, and all 3 county commissioners. And again, we want to thank our city council members for being here, participating as well, and present this to whomever from the task force, from all of us.
All right.
All right?
All right.
We'll sit back there.
Real quick.
Well done.
Well, thank you very much. To continue on our event this morning, I just want to share some more information. 9 out of 10 smokers tried their first cigarette by age 18. Now, as adults, nearly 2 out of 3 of them want to quit smoking. We have another special guest with us today to tell us her story about tobacco. Miss Karen Phillips Spriggs lives in a smoke-free senior housing unit in the city of York, and she is a former smoker herself, and she's come here to tell us her story. Karen?
Well, good morning. I am a former smoker. It was about 30 years ago that I actually quit. And as has been mentioned, most people pick up their first cigarette as a teen, and that's what I did. And I did it not because my parents were smokers, but because everybody else was doing it. And I just wanted to fit in, and I wanted to be a part of it. What made me stop was a film that I saw when the first Great Smokeout took place in the 70s. I saw this film about what nicotine and tar does to the back of white mice and how discolored it was. And they said, this is what is happening to your lungs. I decided then I didn't want that to be happening to me. So I quit. It wasn't easy. I would go back every now and then and pick up a cigarette. Someone would offer you one for free because I wasn't buying them anymore. But it didn't help. But I did stick with it. And I have stopped smoking. Now it's been 32 years. So I am thankful for that. In 2012, the York Housing Authority put out a mandate that there would be no more smoking in the building. It didn't bother me too much because I wasn't a smoker anymore. But I knew that it bothered a lot of people, and it met with a lot of resistance at first. But I can say today, 2 years later, that there have been a lot of people who've benefited and who have actually stopped smoking because of that mandate. And so even though it seems difficult at first, it can be done. If we keep remembering, first of all, why we picked up the cigarette in the first place, peer pressure, the need to fit in, our environment, we say stress causes us to pick up the cigarette. Whatever the reason, there are so many more reasons to stop. One of those is, first of all, to breathe, to take a deep breath, and not cough. You know? Sometimes they say to taste food again, because your taste buds do come back, and you can really taste. I'm a seafood eater. Oh, man. And I want those spices running on my tongue and stuff, so you can really taste food again. And your clothes smell better. You can look as sharp as you want, but if you smell like smoke, nobody wants to be around you. So your clothes start to smell better. I found that some of the things that can help, there's certainly so many classes and agencies out here that can help, but the most important thing I think is support. You got to have support. I'm asking, and I'm putting a challenge out because I have some kids who still smoke, to put down the cigarette for 24 hours. Let your body adjust to fresh air, just for 24 hours, and see what difference it makes. And maybe, just maybe, you won't pick up another cigarette. One person at a time. That's my challenge, to stop for one day, 24 hours, and see how much better you feel. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. That's a really good reminder of why we shouldn't smoke and how much better you feel when you don't smoke. So to assist smokers in quitting today or any other day, the Tobacco Free Task Force and Eat, Play, Breathe York are encouraging smokers who want to quit tobacco to take a pledge to quit for one day, just as Karen asked everyone to do. We are giving out quit kits, and I don't know where mine went to, but they're over there in the basket. Quit kits for smokers to help them through the day. The quit kits include some chewing gum, candy, lollipops, and things to keep their hand busy, like rubber bands and straws. The kit also contains some tobacco resources where people can get help, such as the Pennsylvania Quit Line and our local cessation counselors here at the hospitals that you can reach out to for either individual cessation sessions with them or as for group cessation classes. Knowing how hard it is to quit, not that I ever smoked, but I know people have really struggled with it, we're encouraging those who don't smoke to help and support their friends, co-workers, and family members who do smoke by pledging to give up something as well. I know I can think of several things that I could give up for a day that would probably benefit me very well. And I'm going to take that pledge. But we've also partnered with Family First Health this year, and they're going to be providing quit kits to their smoking patients in both their medical and dental centers today, just to remind them about the Great American Smokeout. And we also have links to the resources, pledge cards, and ideas on how to make your own quit kit, and that's posted on the City Health Bureau's website and Eat, Play, Breathe York websites. Those are yorkcity.org/health and eatplaybreatheyork.org. Finally, I just want to thank Mayor Bracy, Representative Schreiber, and all of our elected officials here today, as well as our task force members who are sitting in the back, and everyone who's here, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules for being here and listening to the challenge that we have ahead of you. And I also encourage you all to, if you're smokers, to take a pledge to quit smoking today. And also I have pledge cards for those who are not smokers who want to pledge to quit something today, that you can pick up cards over there as well. So that's all we have today, and I thank you very much for coming.